Hey guys, what's good? What's going on? Welcome in for 30 books in 30 weeks and tonight's conversation about success, albeit it's going to be a brief conversation. So I got to get back to a project, but I did not want to miss our message. We're talking this week's book selection is called Success One Day at a Time, and it's a John Maxwell book. It's filled with handy dandy little tips and conversations and quotes about success and different people's perspectives on success. David Noakes, what's going on? Hey Tanisha. Um, and so I love this book. I was sharing with you guys earlier when I introduced this book on Monday that this book was a gift to me on January 29, 2001. So I've had this book over 17 years. I got it when I still lived in Iowa, so it's traveled cross country with me. It's got little markers on the pages and little things in here. But truly a handy dandy gem, and I can guarantee you that the person who gave me the gift was a colleague, and I guarantee you that he had no idea that when he gifted me this book that it would still be with me almost 20 years later and I would still be referring back to it. So you just never know the little things that can touch someone's soul, touch their spirit. It really truly is the little things that matter. So tonight's conversation, redefining success, what that looks like, how do you define it? And so for those of you, if you're coming in for the very first time, my name is Marcy Batiste. I welcome you. I am America's #1 success and recovery trainer, reality-based success and recovery trainer. And the reality base is so important because it truly is your reality, your relationship with reality, forming that personal foundation which supports everything else that you try and build. For those of you who don't know much about me, I'm a public speaker, I'm an author, in addition to being a coach and a trainer, and truly being able to work with individuals and become the spark that ignites the light for them to achieve their success, to, as I say, take their dreams off their to-do list and put them on their today list. Really discover and embrace their star power. There's just so many pieces to it, and it's such an honor to be able to be a part of someone else's journey. I talk all the time about survival being a responsibility. That goes along with success being a responsibility. They say, to whom much is given, much is required. And so therefore, I think there's an obligation. It's an honor to be able to serve and to help someone else along. So that's what I do. That's what moves me. That's who I am. And again, we're at 30 books in 30 weeks is a personal development journey that I started with for myself and with some clients back last year. And then we cranked it up in 2018 and did 30 books in 30 weeks. So we're going to run until about the end of June, I think is when we're up. We're almost at 160 days going, which seems so crazy to me. But when you figure 30 weeks is over half of a year, that's pretty amazing. Just to think that there's conversations that we can have about success and growth and happiness, and accomplishments and encouraging one another, that we can do that for over half of a year and never run out of things to talk about is absolutely amazing to me. But it excites me. So tonight's conversation, redefining success. So I was reading through the book, and there's a quote in here by Charles Lindbergh, and it says, "Success is not measured by what a man accomplishes, but by the opposition that he has encountered and the courage with which he has maintained the struggle against overwhelming odds." So let me read that again. Success is not measured by what a man accomplishes, but by the opposition he has encountered and the courage with which he has maintained the struggle against overwhelming odds. For those of you who've worked with me for some time know I have a mantra called Red Bottom Attitude. It's on the thing right here. Red Bottom Attitude is a code of conduct or a state of mind that's personified by liberated women who exude courage, class, and confidence despite seemingly insurmountable obstacles. And the word seemingly is so important in there because, as Lindbergh's quote suggested, he says against overwhelming obstacles, but I would argue and challenge that to say that if you've overcome them, they're no longer insurmountable, So that's why in my mantra I have it seemingly insurmountable, seemingly insurmountable. They're not insurmountable. You can accomplish so much more than you ever dreamed possible. And so, really truly figuring out what you define as success, because I think a lot of times people define success by material possessions. They define them by your bank account. They define them by your status. It's socioeconomic success. It's career success. It's, marital status, or whatever the case may be. So we have all of these categories that we put people through, and we drop people in boxes and say, okay, if you do this, then you're successful, and if you do this, then you're successful. But guess what? If you're doing what you feel you were sent here to do, and you're doing it every day with passion, with integrity, with character, I challenge you. That's success. I was talking to a client yesterday, and we'd been working on some stuff, some developmental stuff with her brand and whatever, and she made the comment. She said, I just feel like I'm just been spinning my wheels. And I said, oh my God, you have not been spinning your wheels. That is what you've not been doing. You've been preparing for your success. And when, we had to actually walk down a path that said, okay, where were you last year? Where were you in the marketplace last year? What was your positioning like? What was your branding like? What was, and only then could she see how much progress she had made and how far she had come. But again, we measure oftentimes the success by the end result. And I argue that you can be successful in the middle. You can be successful in the process. You don't have to have already reached all of your goals to be deemed a success. There are many successful people that we would classify as successful people who are still on the climb. They're still on the hunt. They're still on the grind. And if you ask them, they would say, oh no, I still have so much more to do. And it's about what you're overcoming. What challenges are you facing? How are you overcoming that? I do a lot of work with domestic violence and survivors. Hey Ty, what's going on? And each one of those individuals is a success in their own right, because of what they have overcome, because of what they have had to endure, and how to move forward and press on in spite of, he would say, insurmountable obstacles, and I would say seemingly insurmountable, because you can get over it, you can get through it, but you have to begin to see yourself as a success, and you get to define what success is for you. And don't allow people, hey, so am I, Ty, welcome. Don't allow people to put you in a box and say, oh, well, he or she has done this, so they're a success, or he or she has done that, so they're a success. That's success based on their terms. And oftentimes when people want to categorize you and your success, what makes you successful or not successful is based on what they perceive their own abilities to be. So if you're doing more than they perceive that they can do, they may categorize you as a success. You may feel like, I'm still on the hunt, I'm still on the grind, I'm still on the hustle, I'm still moving, I still got things to do, I still have, like, I know for me, executive in a bank for nearly 30 years. Most people would consider that a success. Okay, based on 6-figure salary, most people would consider that a success. Guess what? I didn't feel successful. I felt somewhat accomplished, but I didn't feel successful. I feel way more successful now doing what I do, living out my passion, helping other people, reaching out, reaching back, and coaching others, encouraging others, and motivating others. To me, that's success for me. It wasn't the career, it wasn't accolades, it wasn't awards. I had a whole shelf in my office full of awards that I had been given over the years. That didn't say success to me. As a matter of fact, somebody asked me one time, well, wow, what are all those awards for? And I couldn't even remember half of them, because that's not what moves me. So the titles don't move me and things like that. Yeah, money's nice, don't get me wrong, but that's not what moves me. Even to that point, that's not what moves me. So it's little things. And that was what I was sharing with my client, was don't forget to to celebrate the little things. Don't forget to celebrate the small wins, because those are your successes. You have to celebrate success along the way, because there's no guarantee that you're ever going to get to X, Y, or Z. You might start at A thinking you're going to Z, get to M and be like, this is everything I ever wanted. So does that mean you're not successful because you didn't get to Z and that was what you're... No, of course not. So redefining success. What does success mean to you? I need you to figure that out for you and not allow other people to put you in a box that they're measuring success by. So that's the message for tonight. I thank you all for joining in. If you get a chance, share the video out. Make sure you go check out YouTube. All of the 30 books in 30 weeks videos are on YouTube. They're always uploaded at least weekly, if not daily. So check out YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow with another tidbit from this week's book selection, Success One Day at a Time. Have an amazing night, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for living life on Mars.